let's look at the cap table. So, and I'm going to go back to that Genesis document also. But before I do that, I want to look at this. So in the Genesis document, we got the final details on how many tokens are owed to everybody, etc. And it turns out that the number previously reported was significantly lower. So what we've had to do is bump up this number. So you see this number here, it's gone up. And as a result, we also had to bump up the number here. So instead of starting at 50 million, we're going to start at 60 million. A bulk of those is just tokens for investors. That's the gap that's been filled. But also wanted to make this booster program really, really attractive for people. And so there's also been additions here in the booster area. So that's basically the main chain. Now let's go look at what we found out in the tokens, right? So let me go into this folder here. And like I said, there's one document here right now, but there's going to be 3 more, possibly 4 documents that come in here. So let's look at the Genesis allocation. So this starts off with, it's a tabbed worksheet, and it starts off with the Vitru cap table. That's the first thing you see here. This is what I was showing you. But here are the details now of all the research that we've done. I'm going to zoom this in a bit more. Let's see. I'm not trying to open insert menu. I'm trying to zoom in. Here we go. Let's do it from here. Okay. So what you're seeing here is wallet addresses and the token amounts due to them. And here is the methodology that was used. So for the rebasing, there's 191K percentage from 21 November to 21st Jan, and then 55% from 1st July to 21st July. So then we basically use those numbers to calculate the tokens. I did a quick holder distribution, and you can see here how basically the largest pool over, let's see, at least 11,000 of the 17 odd thousand holders are below 500 tokens. And then as we get higher here, you can see that the distribution is much sparser. So this is the makeup of the token holders right now, and this data is available to you. And as I showed here, between now and next Tuesday, wait, was it Tuesday? I just want to make sure I get the right. Between now and next Thursday, rather, we want to make sure that you have had a chance to look and communicate any problems that you see. But this is what we've got going now. We have other tabs here. We've got the validators tab, and we've got they should have the same amount of Vitrus that have been rebasing, and so there's a total Vitru there. So we've got all the wallet addresses here, and then we've got the wallet addresses for the backers. So same deal, all the wallet addresses there, whatever the tokens are. The formula is all the same. And then finally, something that I know a lot of people have been waiting for, but I couldn't get my hands on the data, but I finally have that data now, is we got the details for what was UXI, which is now going to be Vitro, the tokens due. Now, one of the things that we want to do is start this off with the right tokenomics. So if you go with just the base tokens, you come up with a number of 278,000. So what we're going to do when we do launch the DAX is we're going to put a multiplier on these. So they're all effectively going to be multiplied by 28.731. That doesn't mean that the price is going to be multiplied by 28.731. We'll figure out the price as we come based upon liquidity. But what we want to do is basically have these tokens look reasonable from a tokenomic standpoint. So the cap table looks something like this. So basically it's an 80-20 split here on the cap table. Let me zoom in a little bit. The investors basically get 80%. And then what we want to do is make the deal a little smoother for sweeter rather for super boosters. So there's an incentive there of 10% of the Vitro tokens that will be available to super boosters pro rata. And finally, there is an allocation for the DAO to be able to essentially distribute, for marketing purposes and also to distribute as the DAO sees fit. So those are all the numbers. So these are available for you to peruse. I'm still working with the Discord team, but I think what we'll end up doing is just have you open a support ticket if you have a problem, and let us know, and we'll then, if there's any changes made, what I'll do is I'll publish here and also publish a note via an announcement in Discord that something's changed. But you can always go and look at the document history, to see if any changes have been made, and don't plan on making any changes, at least unless they are communicated with. So we would potentially make changes until this time, until voting opens. We want to make sure that everyone has a chance to give any feedback, or if there's any problems, etc. But you're going to see in public if there are any changes made to these documents. One more thing, this is just a Google spreadsheet, right? Like, how can you trust that these numbers are going to end up sort of in the protocol? Well, the protocol is going to be architected, and this is something I'll cover in next week's download. The Nexus NFT, the way it's being architected, the smart contract around it, these allocations that you have are not going to be initially in your wallet, because there is a vesting schedule, right? So if at Genesis these tokens are put directly into your wallet, there is no vesting, there is no lock period or anything like that. So that won't work. So that's why you have the Nexus NFT. It's a very specific NFT that gives you the right to go and claim whatever tokens are vested, claim from the incentive pool, etc. So what you're going to see is actually contracts. So you're going to see in smart contracts your wallet addresses and the associated tokens owed, the vesting schedule, etc. Obviously, we don't expect people to be looking at it as developers at the contract level. We're going to have a nice dashboard for you, but the people who are developers and who do know how to look at the data will be able to go look at the contracts and verify that, in fact, this data matches exactly the contract data. And so our approach is going to be, we're going to stand up 2 validators. We're going to deploy all the smart contracts with all this data on here. We're going to give the community a period of time to validate that. So you can go look and see that, okay, it was promised that, this wallet had 81,708.34 Vitrus. Is that verifiable in the contract? It should be. It should be easy to verify. So you look at those 2 validators, and when the community feels it's comfortable, and we'll do a vote again, right? We'll do a vote and say, yep, this is good. That's when we start adding other validators. That's the first point at which we will ask one of the validators to come in and sign and get on board. So there is this very delicate but very structured process to ensure that all the data is accurate and has been seen by everyone and is totally transparent and verified by everyone. And there are multiple checkpoints where people can step in and say, wait, I see a problem here. We want to be very, very thorough, down to like the last decimal point here on these things, and make sure things are very, very accurate. So we start off with showing you this information, giving you a week or so to look at it. Then we as we get through sort of this activation process of the validators for mainnet RC1, we will not invite or enable a third validator until we've voted on the 2. I'll just be upfront and say that in anticipation, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, in anticipation of a yes vote, we did start the paperwork for DAO that involves filling out form, etc. It doesn't mean we've actually done anything. And the reason for that is purely about timing. We cannot wait until the last moment and file all the paperwork, etc., because then we'll miss all the window of time, and it'll be like mid-November or so before we can get the booster sale going, etc. So the interest of time, we've got things in parallel, but we won't commit to anything until the vote is done. So I don't want you to feel like, what's the vote for if you already started the DAO? Well, we've just started the application process because that is time consuming. You have to get all the documents ready and things like that. So just want to be clear on that so that it doesn't become an issue with anyone.